This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by Northwest Flower and Garden Festival.
Welcome back. It's no secret that plants are good for humans. They help provide us with oxygen after all, but there are some plants that help the environment in general, the whole earth, in other ways. Here with a lesson on plants that are good for the planet, Richie Steffen from the Elizabeth C. Miller Botanical Garden. Thank you for being here. And you matched your plants today.
I know. Isn't this a great array here?
These are beautiful.
I know. It's the time of the year for these.
And we can get busy. If we have old plants at home or bare spots, go grab these things. Yeah. What makes a plant good for the planet?
So what we did is we selected out a group of plants that are good for, a lot of them are drought tolerant. They're good for pollinators, or they're a native to the area. And so this array that I brought has some of these things that are great for pollinators. And you think about these Hellebores right now. It is the time of the year for Hellebores. They really come into their own in February, March, April.
Get them, plant them, enjoy them.
That's right. And right now, I don't know whether you've noticed, but there are little bumblebees out.
Yes.
And these are great for bumblebees.
They love them. And who wouldn't look at these beautiful little flowers?
I know.
They're just, for pollination. They look like a little bee hotel.
They really do.
Go in there and have fun.
I know, and they're filled with nectar, and the bees totally love them. And even these double ones, even those, sometimes double flowers don't have nectar or pollen, but on these, the double ones do.
They do.
So even those are great for the bees.
And these are beautiful too. What kind of Hellebore is this?
So this is a relatively new one called Ice and Roses Red.
Wow.
And there's been this renaissance in Hellebores, and on the market there's tons of new ones coming out every year. And so for Great Plant Picks, which is the plant education program that the garden I work at runs, we look at new plants and old plants and see what are the best, most consistently reliable performers for the Pacific Northwest. And so this is one that's going into trial this year.
I love
it. This is the first year for. Isn't that a beautiful plant?
It's gorgeous, not only because of the color of the flower, but the stem is this color too. It's gorgeous. And it matches with everything.
It really does.
All right, so let's talk about a few things that we need to know when we go to the nursery. Let's talk about how to pick a plant at the nursery that's good for the environment and good for our area.
Sure. A great thing to do whenever you first start looking at a plant is do a little research on there. Look at where you have to plant it and whether it's sun, shade, and then select a plant that's going to grow well in that. Whenever you go to the nursery and you look at these, and there you want something that's fairly solid in the pot. And with Hellebores in particular, we're often taught, let me see if I can squeeze this out of the pot now. This one's really,
I know
really
we're not supposed to yank on it.
I know.
There
we go. So often when we look at roots on plants, and we're taught to avoid this sort of stuff, but on Hellebores naturally have big root systems, and so you really want to, your natural inclination is to get in there and kind of break up that root.
Yes, which I would do. Is that wrong?
Well, on Hellebores, it is.
Okay.
Just plant them as is, even though that looks wrong on there. Just plant that with that big mass of roots there because it'll grow out of it. And what Hellebores do is they kind of go into this little dormancy in the summertime. And so these are the roots that they need for the summer as well. And so you don't want to mess them up. But on ferns, you do tear those apart.
Okay.
And so
ask questions when you go to the nursery, right?
Ask questions.
Ask twice now. Do I have
on
this
there.
right?
And
Take
so
notes.
on this, we would just kind of get in there and just kind of break it up. And you could be rough with it, and it'll grow out of it without
And these
any
are
problem.
good for the environment. And I always think of
they
them
are.
as kind of delicate, but no, they can be big, huge plants.
They can be, and I got to show you this.
Yes,
All
I'll
right,
help you uncover this guy.
So this.
Got it?
This is one of the largest ferns
Look at that,
we can
you
grow
guys.
that's hardy out here. Isn't that incredible?
I can't even imagine what the whole rest of the plant looks like.
So the new growth comes out bright red. So this is called single jewel chain fern.
How tall this is.
I know, it's close
like
to 7 feet.
tall.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And so the new growth comes out bright red. These fronds can get as long as 8 feet. We've grown them as long, and it's called single jewel because if they really like where they're growing, on the very tip, you see that little fuzzy bud right there? That will sprout out a new fern.
Are you
and
kidding me?
So if that
And then do you
touches the ground,
transplant that?
then you can transplant that.
Okay.
Yes, and you know these used to be really rare. But now they're becoming more available. So it used to be whenever you would grow a new one on there, you could either plant that in your yard and gloat over having more of them, or you could share it with a friend.
Which is always nice. Okay, so how do we cut back perennials, ferns, etc., to get ready for spring and summer?
So right now, you know, a lot of ferns are still looking really great. But if we look at the tips on these, you can see a little bit of brown in there, and a few little fronds get broken. So March is a great time to cut back ferns, and right down at the base you can see.
Oh my goodness!
See that little bunch of buds there?
Right.
You can cut those right down to that. So the only thing you have left of this nub in March.
Really?
Late February and March are the best times to do it.
And they'll just grow right back.
And they'll sprout right back. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem at all.
All right. So what can people expect at the festival?
It's amazing there. I was there yesterday setting up. So we have these great big mixed containers that we do, but the gardens are looking great. There's wonderful classes and seminars that are going on, and there are great plants to buy.
So
there.
you can buy plants.
You can buy some
learn
plants.
about them,
Yep,
buy
you
them,
can
take
learn
them
about
away.
them. Yeah. On there, and then the gardens are just absolutely fantastic. We were looking; they haven't finished them yet, but they're working hard on them. But they're really fantastic. And this year, because the show's a little later, there's a lot more in bloom. There's a lot more blooming in the display gardens.
That's good because then you can judge what it is you're buying and, and make sure that that's really what you want. You can kind of see what the colors look like. There are also, I'm told, something called flower mannequins.
Yes.
Explain those.
So it's this traveling show called Fleurs de Villes, and it is fantastic. There's about 12 mannequins. They're completely decked out with outfits all made of flowers or plant material. And it's pretty fantastic. This is the first time that it's been to Seattle, and so I cannot wait to see them.
Where did this get started? Is this an art form elsewhere?
It's been moving around, and I'm not sure where it started at.
I'm
but,
just in my head, it's France.
It does seem like it totally should be like Milan, is where you know.
Italy, but
France,
look at it.
yes.
I mean, really amazing things. So it's not just learning about flowers, but really seeing all the artistry that goes around.
It really is. There's so much creativity at the show there, and that's what I really love about it, is seeing all those creative efforts.
And where are you located?
So we're at the Great Plant Picks booth, and so whenever you walk onto the show floor with all the gardens, you'll see this great big leaf that says Great Plant Picks, and that's where we are.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can see Richie's full seminar at the Northwest Flower and Garden Festival, which runs from this Wednesday through Sunday at the Washington State Convention Center. For more details and ticket information, please visit gardenshow.com. Up next, we're going to learn how to make an authentic Louisiana dish just in time for Mardi Gras. Fat Tuesday is tomorrow. We'll be right back.